Hello. This is going to blow your mind. Welcome to Crime Chronicles. Listen up if you're a young woman looking for a better future. In Karnataka, India, a dark story unfolds. A story so evil it's hard to believe. Meet Cyanide Mohan, a name that became known for fear. From 2003 to 2009, he trapped 20 women in his deadly web. These were not random acts, but planned moves in a deadly game. Mohan, a master manipulator, preyed on young women looking for a better life. He promised them love and marriage, only to betray them with poison. His weapon? Cyanide, a poison that gave no chance to escape. Each victim, a silent scream frozen in time, a life cut short. This is not just a crime story. It's a chilling tale of darkness hiding behind an ordinary face. Join us as we uncover the life and crimes of Cyanide Mohan and the relentless pursuit of justice. But most importantly, we remember the victims, their faces, their stories, their stolen futures. By honoring their memory, we face the horror of Mohan's crimes and work to prevent such tragedies from happening again. Cyanide Mohan. The name itself sends shivers down your spine. His method was simple, effective, and utterly ruthless. He targeted young, vulnerable women, often from financially disadvantaged backgrounds or those trapped in desperate situations. He approached them with charm, posing as a well-educated professional, a man of means who could offer them a way out, a better life. His promises were alluring: marriage, a fresh start, a chance to escape their current reality. He would gain their trust, shower them with attention and affection, making them believe they had found a savior in him. He would convince them to travel with him to a new city, a new life. But this promised paradise was a carefully constructed illusion, a one-way ticket to their doom. Once alone, he would persuade them to visit a temple, a seemingly innocent request. It was here, in these sacred spaces, that he would strike. He'd convince them to remove their gold jewelry for prayers, a common practice, ensuring their trust until the very end. Then, under the guise of providing them with prasad, a religious offering, he would slip them the cyanide capsule. Death was swift and silent. He would vanish with their jewelry, leaving behind a trail of devastation and unanswered questions. As the bodies of young women began surfacing in and around Mangalore, a pattern emerged, sending chills down the spines of investigators. The victims, all women in their 20s and 30s, were found abandoned near bus stands and temples, their gold ornaments missing. The cause of death, cyanide poisoning. The modus operandi was eerily similar, pointing towards the work of a serial killer. The police were under immense pressure to catch the perpetrator terrorizing their community. A special task force was formed dedicated to hunting down the elusive killer. They meticulously pieced together clues, interviewing families, tracing the victims' last known movements, and examining countless missing person reports. A breakthrough came when they discovered a common link: a man, often seen with the victims prior to their disappearance, fitting the description provided by witnesses. Sketches were released, and the hunt intensified. The net was closing in. Finally, in October 2009, after years of relentless pursuit, Cyanide Mohan was apprehended at a bus stand in Karnataka. He had on him a bus ticket to Goa and a bag containing a woman's belongings. The monster had been unmasked. Each life taken by Cyanide Mohan represents a story tragically cut short, a universe of possibilities extinguished. There was Anita, a bright young woman studying to be a nurse, dreaming of a future filled with healing and hope. She was lured by the promise of a job, a chance to ease her family's financial burden. Then there was Shobha, a single mother struggling to provide for her children. She saw in Mohan a chance for love, a partner to share her burdens. He promised her marriage, a stable home for her children. Her trust cost her everything. These women, and the 18 others who fell victim to Mohan's cruelty, were daughters, sisters, mothers. They were individuals with hopes, dreams, and loved ones who cherished them. Their lives were not mere statistics in a macabre game. They were irreplaceable threads in the tapestry of life, brutally torn away. Their stories serve as a painful reminder of the human cost of such heinous crimes. Their absence continues to leave a void in the lives of their families, a constant ache that time can never truly heal. Beyond the headlines, The ripples of trauma. The shockwaves of Cyanide Mohan's crimes extended far beyond the immediate families of the victims. The entire region of Karnataka, particularly the coastal areas where he operated, was gripped by fear. Women were afraid to trust strangers, to venture out alone, their sense of safety shattered. The case also exposed the vulnerabilities of women, especially those from marginalized communities, who are often easy targets for predators like Mohan. The societal pressures, the lack of opportunities, and the desperation to escape difficult circumstances create a breeding ground for exploitation. The stigma attached to such cases often prevents families from seeking justice, fearing social ostracism. Many victims' families chose to remain silent, their grief compounded by the fear of judgment and shame. The case underscored the urgent need for greater awareness, support systems, and a more compassionate approach towards the victims of such crimes. The mind of a killer, delving into Mohan's psyche. What could drive a man to commit such horrific acts, to extinguish the lives of 20 innocent women with such cold-blooded precision? To understand the depths of Cyanide Mohan's depravity, we must delve into the labyrinth of his mind. Born into a seemingly ordinary family in Karnataka, Mohan's early life held no outward signs of the darkness that would consume him. He was considered an average student, quiet and unassuming. He pursued a degree in physical education and even worked as a teacher for a brief period. However, beneath this veneer of normalcy lurked a deeply disturbed individual. Some experts believe he harbored a deep-seated resentment towards women, possibly stemming from perceived rejections or failures in his personal life. This resentment, coupled with a lack of empathy and remorse, may have manifested in a desire to exert power and control over his victims, ultimately culminating in their demise. His meticulous planning, his ability to gain the trust of his victims, and his cold-hearted disposal of their bodies point towards a psychopathic personality, devoid of guilt or conscience. His crimes were not impulsive acts of passion, but calculated executions driven by a perverse sense of satisfaction derived from their suffering. As the dust settled on Cyanide Mohan's reign of terror, a haunting question lingered in the air. Could these tragedies have been prevented? While it's impossible to rewind the clock, examining the circumstances surrounding his crimes reveals missed opportunities and systemic failures that allowed him to operate with impunity for so long. The lack of awareness among his potential victims, particularly in rural areas, about the dangers posed by predators like Mohan, made them more susceptible to his manipulations. Many were unaware of the telltale signs of an abuser, the red flags that should have raised alarm bells. The police investigation, though ultimately successful, was hampered by a lack of resources, coordination, and initial urgency. Precious time was lost as the bodies were discovered in different jurisdictions, delaying the connection and the realization that a serial killer was on the loose. The case exposed the need for greater vigilance, community awareness programs, and proactive measures to protect vulnerable individuals from falling prey to such predators. It highlighted the importance of timely reporting, effective communication between law enforcement agencies, and a more sensitive approach towards victims and their families. The trial of Cyanide Mohan was a media spectacle, captivating the nation with its gruesome details and the sheer scale of his crimes. The prosecution presented a mountain of evidence: DNA samples, witness testimonies, and the recovered belongings of the victims, all pointing towards Mohan's guilt. Throughout the trial, Mohan maintained his innocence, claiming he was being framed. His cold, emotionless demeanor, even when confronted with the devastating impact of his actions, sent chills down the spines of those present in the courtroom. In December 2013, after a lengthy trial, the court delivered its verdict: guilty. Cyanide Mohan was sentenced to death by hanging, bringing a semblance of closure to the families of the victims and sending a strong message that such heinous crimes would not go unpunished. However, the death penalty, while providing a sense of retribution, cannot erase the pain and suffering inflicted upon the victims and their families. It also reignites the debate surrounding capital punishment, its effectiveness as a deterrent, and its moral implications. The chilling saga of Cyanide Mohan serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that exist within our society and the predators who exploit them. While we cannot always predict or prevent such tragedies, we can learn from the past and take proactive measures to safeguard those most at risk. Education and awareness are paramount. We must empower individuals, especially women and girls, with the knowledge and skills to recognize the signs of abuse, manipulation, and exploitation. Community outreach programs, self-defense classes, and public awareness campaigns can play a crucial role in equipping individuals with the tools to protect themselves. Strengthening law enforcement agencies, improving coordination between jurisdictions, and allocating adequate resources to investigate and prosecute such crimes are essential steps in ensuring that justice is served. Creating a more sensitive and supportive environment for victims to come forward without fear of judgment or stigma is crucial in encouraging reporting and bringing perpetrators to justice. The shadow of Cyanide Mohan's crimes continues to loom large, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. As we grapple with the enormity of his actions, it's imperative that we remember the victims, the 20 lives tragically cut short. Their stories, though forever intertwined with tragedy, should not be defined by it. They were daughters, sisters, mothers, friends, individuals with hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Their lives, though brutally taken, serve as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of love and memory. Let their faces serve as a reminder of the importance of vigilance, compassion, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. Let their stories inspire us to create a safer, more just world, where such tragedies are not repeated and the sanctity of life is upheld. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel to help spread awareness and keep their memories alive. Let's go!